Alright guys, a lot of you guys already know what this vehicle is. It's one of the vehicles that we bought and we changed the fuel pump on it. We got it running and this thing run like dirt. So what we need to do is find out what's going on now. Alright, I gotta jump it. So we got our tack life out here. Great jumper guys. Great battery jumper. So let's get this hooked up. Boost is on. Alright, here we go.
I think it came off the terminal. Yeah, the negative came off.
I was about to say, man, this is tack light. This ain't supposed to be doing. Let me put this thing way over here to the side.
The car's little, it don't fit.
Alright guys, as you can see, it's got a serious misfire. Now, let me disconnect this. I'm going to show you something, guys. Come around here and follow me, Sidney. Now, if you look way over here on the side, the check engine light, see that flashing? Guys, if your check engine light is flashing, shut your car off. What's that telling you? It only means one thing. Imminent catalyst failure. That means you keep driving it, you are definitely going to mess up your catalytic converter. So we're going to shut that off. So now, guys, we're going to have to diagnose this and see what's going on. We're going to do this very simple, guys. All right, let's get some tools. We'll be right back. Alright guys, now the first thing you can do, if you want, you can hook up a diagnostic scanner to it, or we do whatever, a little code reader, find out which cylinder it is. Or you can do what I'm about to do. You grab, now these are spark plug wire pliers. And what they do is, like if you see this spark plug down here, while the car's running, or when it's off, I can reach down there, twist it side to side, and pick it up just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect each one while the car is running. Now, if the cylinder is good, the misfire is going to get worse. But if we get to the cylinder that's causing the misfire, you're going to notice no change in the motor at all. Now, what I also got here, guys, is what you want to definitely get you a pair of hose pliers, because sometimes you can use these hose pliers as spark plug wires as well. Especially when you got, like, see, number 3.
You can use it as spark plug wires?
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't. That's what I'm asking.
Spark plug wire pliers.
Oh, gotcha.
Now you got this one down here, number 3. Way down in there. You see that, Civvy?
Oh, yeah.
So you can use the hose pliers to get down there and get that off. So we might have to do that. Now I noticed the injector is in the way right here. You can. This one can't twist, so you're in trouble. Alright guys, so what we're going to do, and what we're going to do, since number 4 is easy to get to, and you come over here to number 1 is easy to get to, we're going to try those first. And, well, I'm not going to jump ahead of things. So let's get this jumped and get it started, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're going to cut our jumper on. Let's go start this up. Okay. What we're going to do now is go, I'm going to use my hose pliers since they can get down here. We're going to go to number 4. And what I want you to do is, I'm going to grab one number 4, but I need you to watch, get a view of the whole engine. Alright, here we go. See that? It got worse. Put it back. And, well, it got a little bit better. Worse. Better. Alright? Let's go over here to number 1. on right now. Put it back on. Take it off. On. But I noticed, guys, check this out now. Something right here. Because when I take this off, look down here. If you look right down, right here, look right down this way. So we gotta, let's shut this off, guys, and see what the heck going on down there. Alright, you know, guys, let me get a light and I'll be right back. Alright, guys, down there is our ignition coil. And it seemed like the spark was coming. But the weird part, the spark was, it was only doing that when I pulled the number one off. You know, you know what, guys, this is not going to work. We need to get this thing off. This is our secondary air injection pump right here. Let's take this thing out so we can see the coil just in case we do got to change it. And it looks like it's all, the mounts of it to it and everything is broken. So let's see, we got a hose right here. To disconnect this hose, the two clips on the side, you're going to squeeze those in and pull up just like that. And then over here you got another one right in the front. Squeeze that in some kind of way. And unplug it, whatever, dang it. Okay. Now to disconnect it, the electrical plug right here, these suck. You gotta take a little screwdriver, or you can take your finger and you gotta pull back on that tab, part of the tab right there. Just pull it back just a little bit, just to release it and pick it up. Now first you gotta push the connector in to make sure that you can get up under there. Ready?
Yeah, I got you.
Pull it back a little bit and then unplug it. And let's, I was hoping to get this out without having to do that, but we're gonna have to. And this thing is held, this bracket, it's got a hex bolt here, and on the other side it looks like I see another hex bolt. But then further down I see another hex bolt. I see another hex bolt right there. Alright, so it looks like it's those three hex bolts, and we can get that whole thing out. Alright, so let's get a socket for that, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I got a 4-inch 3/8 drive extension, and I got a little wobble extension. Wobble extension, so when you put your socket on, it can wobble, get into good areas. And I got a 6mm hex socket. So we're going to have this one we're going to take out. One. We're going to come around here to the side. This side of the way. Number 2, right there. And then we got to get way up under here. Can you see number 3?
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of stuff in the way, but that's piece of it.
Dang, this hose is right in. Let's see, I'm going to do this way. Dang it. Number 3. Alright, let's get those 3 out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got all 3 bolts out. Let's take our secondary air injection pump up. And there we go. Now we can see this coil a whole lot better. And what I'm going to do is stick these bolts back in there so I don't lose them. Now the weird part about it, it looks like that spark was coming from up here, but number one is down here. Well, you know what? Let's start this up again. So let me get these bolts, put these bolts in place, get the jumper back on it, and we're gonna start it up again. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's start this up. All right, now this is the weird part. We didn't see that spark until I actually disconnected number one. Let's go back over here. Oh, look at that. It is number one. Up down to the side. But guys, that don't mean the wire is bad. Because the spark still should be going through the other one. Let's shut this off. Let's check that wire out. We'll be right back. Alright guys, let's see what's going on here down here. What the heck? Somebody, what the? Oh man, you know, backyard mechanics, man. Let's see if we can take up number one. No, I need to look at number one. This thing was actually arcing out through the side. Huh, and there's no... You know what, guys, what we're gonna have to do is, let's plug this back. I wish I had another wire to check this out with. Alright guys, you know what, let me, I don't know what to say here, man. I'm gonna tighten up these coils. What size is that anyway? 5 millimeters? Looks like. Why they look like they feel like they tight? They feel like they tight, but the whole thing is loose. And there's another wire, another bolt right between there. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got a 5 millimeter hex socket with a 5-inch, 1/4-inch drive extension, my 1/4-inch drive ratchet. Let me see if I can tighten these things up. Why would all three be... Oh my goodness, that ain't moving. What about loosening? Oh boy, something's wrong. Oh boy. Alright, so that's something we're gonna have to address. What can we do here? I got an idea, guys. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take number one. Look at that, man. Number one cylinder, disconnected. Okay. And we're gonna take number two. And what we're gonna do is swap both wires. Hopefully number two can reach over to number one. And we're gonna see if that spark still comes out of there. You get what we're doing, right, Siffy? Alright, so let's go over here. Number one is disconnected. They had to put these things up under a loom or something. It's like taking up more intake. Okay, there we go. This is the poor man's way of getting out of this, guys. Alright, here's number one. And dang it, getting disconnected number two was sick. I know you're supposed to pull up the intake, guys, but I ain't got time for that. Now, first of all, the main thing is let's see if number 1, if we can get number 1 to this one, number 2 to connect to number 1, and reach over here to the coil. Okay, his fist going right there. Dang it, no it can't. Unless I try to... Whoever put this stuff in here? Alright guys, let me get this wire out of here. I'll be right back. Alright guys, what I did... In case you're doing this, if you look right between in here, I put it between the intake, between the ports. So now my number 2 wire will reach over here to number 1 cylinder and go down here and put it on to the number 1 port on the coil. Alright, now what I'm going to do is take the number 1 wire and I'm going to get that and hooked it onto number 2 cylinder. So let's get that hooked up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I crossed both wires. Let's start this back up. First, let's disconnect number 1. I want to see something here. It's dark down there, blue, but it's on. Oh, is it coming out of that? See, it has the arc, right? Still, so with the wire, I mean, that's not the wire. No, because see, I got it going to the ground right now, and I hear it sparking to this spark plug. So, no, that is good. We got to take it apart, but that ain't our issue. So let's shut this off. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is pull this spark plug out. Alright? We'll be right back. Alright, guys, I got my 5/8 spark plug socket. And I believe this one, I think Benny sent us this.
The spark plug socket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benny. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so let's go in here. Whoops. Let's get this spark plug out. Don't look that bad either. It looks probably a little wet because it wasn't sparking, but that looks like a good plug. You know, guys, I'm gonna clean this plug up. And you know, while we got this apart, how are we doing a compression test on this cylinder? You know, guys, that's what we're gonna do. Let me get a compression tester, and we'll be right back. You know, guys, before I do that, you know, let's do a simpler test. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here. I'm going to take out, we know number 4 cylinder is good. So what I'm going to do is take this spark plug out. We know this is a good spark plug. I'm going to clean this one up.
Well, why does that one look more burnt than the other one?
More dry.
Oh, it's more dry.
Yeah, this one, notice how it's wet a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean this one up, put it in number 4 cylinder, and take this one and put it in number 1 cylinder. And then we're going to do that test again. Actually, we ain't even got to do a complete test. That's all I have to do is tighten this one up. Okay. Put this wire back on it. We are going to change the wires on this once we figure it out. And also, I ain't worried about putting the number 1 back to where it belongs and all that. Make sure this is connected. And you know what? I'm not even going to clean it up. I'm going to dust it off a little bit. Put it back into here. And then we're going to try this test all over again. Alright? We'll be right back. Alright guys, let's start it up. And that's all we're going to do is check number 4. Let's see what number 4 does. Life is bad. Alright, so let's try number 4. Oh. Alright, so we know it's still working. So we know we're going to take that back out and we're going to do a compression test on that cylinder. Be right back. Alright guys, you know what? Before we get to that point right there, we need to check the injector right here. So let's check injector pulse. Now there's 2 ways. Now one, now once we check injector pulse, if we see injector pulse is good, there's 2 ways of determining whether you got a bad injector or not. One, you can pull all this part, change the injector, or swap 2 injectors, or you can use the stethoscope method. You can just listen to it and hear the injector clicking. So first we're going to disconnect it. And if you notice, that little tab right there, you're going to squeeze that tab into the connector and pick up on the whole thing. I can't see. Oh, it figures this thing is broken. Alright, so now on testing this out, guys, one of these wires is hot. As soon as the key put on, it stays hot. The other one is ground controlled by the computer, which means the computer, it takes a ground, it goes and that's what's going to make this light flash, which is going to mimic what the injector is doing. So if you're doing this test right here and it don't light up, flash, you got to make sure you have power and you got to make sure you have a post ground. Alright, so we got that. Let's get this. We're going to have to charge this battery up because this tachylight ain't going to be doing this too much longer. Alright, let's get this started and yell to me if you see that light. Okay. Flashing. Light automatically. Okay, so it is flashing.
Yeah, it was almost flashing. I guess maybe it was flashing so fast it would look almost solid.
Oh. Alright, so we're going to connect this back. And what you do now, guys, is either a stethoscope or a long extension, and if you look down there, you see your injector. You're going to place the extension on the body, the side of the injector, and put your ear up against the extension, and you'll actually hear it going. That's the pencil inside doing that. So let me get a longer extension, and we're going to try that, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's kind of jump on. Alright, now I got my 2-foot long PA strap extension. I'm going to place this right on the body, right there, and put my ear against it. Oh yeah, I hear it. I hear it. That injector's working. guys, if you're not sure about, you believe me, trust me, guys, you're definitely gonna hear it. And the injectors do have a little screen inside that might get clogged, but trust me, you're looking at a 1% chance right about now of that happening. So don't even worry about that. So the next thing we're gonna do is pull out this spark plug, and we're gonna do us a compression test on that cylinder. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got that pulled out. Let's get this test. And the tester I'm using is from Harbor Freight. I think it was like $17 to $24. And I gotta admit, whatever, you making me forget what I'm doing. For this price, I gotta admit, it's pretty good. So now let's see what the also over here you gotta make sure the car don't start. So you gotta either disconnect the fuse or disconnect a fuel pump fuse or something like that. What we're gonna do is reach over here and disconnect the plug to the ignition coil. Now remember that tab I told you about on the other plug? It's the same thing. You're gonna have to pull that tab back a little bit, just a little bit, and then unplug it. Now, you can't see this, but yeah, see it, move out my way. Come on. Jeez. So I gotta reach over here. And remember, push down first, and then pull it up. It's right there. All right, here it is. Now, the secret to these guys is push that plug in to make it tight. Then you can take your finger, just like I did, and just pick up on that tab just a little bit, and then pull it right on out. So now this car won't start. Now I'm actually I'm kind of debating on this because we're using our jumper, and you don't want to use your jumper too many times, especially when it's cranking an engine. So I'm actually considering doing a running compression test. Actually start the engine up and see what it does. But we'll try it this way first. Okay. All right, and also when you're doing this, put your foot all the way on the throttle, the gas pedal, because you need as much air coming in as possible. All right, here we go. Ready, Sippy? Sippy!
Come on, people are waiting. That's it?
Oh!
I'm no expert, but that seems kind of low.
Guys, that's not good, man. You know what, guys? Let's what I'm gonna do, guys, is don't be pointing at my tools. I'm really pointing off camera at my tools. What we're gonna do, guys? Let's pull out number 4 and do a compression test on cylinder number 4. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's try cylinder number 4. At least we know this cylinder is good, so.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
Do we really?
So yeah.
Oh, that's much better.
What is that?
150.
Okay, guys, we got a
Issue.
Yeah, we got an issue over there. Now we can have a hole in the piston, which is very rare. But more than likely, we got a burnt valve or something with the cam or something. We need to take this apart. So you guys are going to have to just stay tuned for the video series on us doing this. It's going to be called the head gasket. And this was messed up, guys. When we bought this car, if you watched that video, somebody already did a head gasket on this. So we have no idea what is wrong. Maybe they put the timing belt on, one tooth off and all. So many things, but we're going to work this out together.